Hi, my name's Laura Batante and this is My Two Bets, and today I have a fun craft for anyone who is a big fan of Captain Underpants or just a book lover in general.
All right, so supplies for this Captain Underpants Treat Box. Pretty much the usual suspects. We've got glue and scissors, and I have a hole punch. I have some ribbon to tie his cape on with, and then I have some paper clips, and I use those to hold the template onto my colored papers. Now for the colored papers, I am using pink cardstock and red paper. Now you could use cardstock for this. I've just gone with paper because it just bends a little bit easier, but that's not really that important. You can totally get your cardstock to curl. And then when I printed out my template, I printed the page, the second page, which has the underpants and the cape on it, on cardstock because I wanted my underpants in cardstock. However, you could, again, just print on paper. That would work too. The only reason I did is I think it just gives a little bit better solidness to it so that you don't really see any of the pink coming through. And that's all you need except for the template, which is right there in the video notes. So I'm going to go ahead and cut everything and then we'll meet back and put it together. But I did want to show you this before you get started. The underpants attach right on, obviously, to the face of it. For the top and in the legs, I've cut away the dotted line, but here on the sides, I just leave it, just to the outside. And that's only in case you have some issues when you're cutting your box. Sometimes, you go in a little bit more than you meant to or whatever. It just gives you a little leeway to like glue that down, and then you can trim it from behind, no problem, just to make it so that it lines up really nice. All right, as is my way, I have forgotten to mention something in materials, and that was a ruler and something to score the dotted lines with. You can use a bone folder, you could use a pen that doesn't work anymore, the back of an X-Acto knife, whatever you're kind of comfortable with. You're just putting a little dent along these dotted lines here. It makes it easier to fold, that way you don't get a bend. All right, so once you have it all cut, you've punched in your holes and folded it all up, push in the sides, and I push them in far enough so that I don't see them up at the top. So they should lie flat across the top. It doesn't have to be perfect. That's the beauty of this. It only has to look good from the front because nobody sees the sides. So then you just hold it like that, and you're going to pop some little dots in the center there for punching. And as long as we're punching, we can line up our cape and do the same thing. You could do it like this. You could draw the holes, or you could do it like this. This is just as easy. You just don't want to make your holes too big. So now you're going to pick whatever you think is your best face, and we're going to put on the underpants. And so you're going to glue that on like so, and then you will trim from behind just to make sure it looks spiffy, but you want to make sure that you line up along the bottom really nicely. All right, there we go. That part's done. And now we're just going to tuck it in and hold that all together. And did I think to cut ribbon first? No. I cut about an 8-inch chunk, and you don't need that much, but it is nice to be able to tie a bow without nothing but a little tiny bit of ribbon at the end. Now this is the time to fill it. So I'm just going to get this side started like so, put in whatever you want, attach the cape to the back. There we go. Honestly, it's so much easier to make these crafts without a camera right in your forehead. So there we go. And now just tie it like so.
Well, I'm a little out of practice, but if you enjoyed the video, or more importantly, enjoyed the craft, then please consider giving me a like and following me on my channel and on my other social media. Thanks so much for joining me today.